Hey guys, welcome to 10 of my favorite fishing lures to use in freshwater. Starting off, we have our soft plastics, which I will be starting with curly tails. Curly tails are very simple in design and come in a wide variety of shapes, sizes, and colors. They can be quite big with large, wide tails, or small and skinny with tiny little tails. These tails give a very nice effect in the water and wave like a real fish's tail would. These are useful for catching bass or small panfish. Next up, we have paddle tails. Paddle tails come in large varieties of shapes, sizes, and colors, and have lots of different designs, such as this one. And they function very similarly to curly tails, and you reel them back relatively slowly, and it gives a lot of action on the tail. Next up is one of my personal favorites, and one that you see very rarely, and that is a soft plastic corn. Now, this looks nearly exactly like a regular corn kernel, but it's more durable and will give you lots more fish per piece. So you just hook it like any other piece of corn and let it sit in the water, and then relatively quickly, depending on what kind of water situation you have, you will get a bite. Next up, we have soft plastic worms or maggots, and they come in lots of different sizes, shapes, and colors, much like most other lures. And they're very simple to use, much like any other bait that you just sit. You just hook it. Doesn't have any special action. You just hook it, preferably with a smaller hook, and just let it sit. You can bob it a little if you want, but you, for the most part, just let it sit. Up, we have one of the most versatile lures you can use, and that is jigs. These come in lots of sizes, shapes, colors, and styles, and can be used for all types of fish. So, smaller end would be used for small to large panfish, like crappie, bluegill, you name it. Then, larger would be used for, like, bass. The actual jig part is the head, and it has a little nudge right here that allows the bait to go on nice and smooth and to keep it in place. And the head is just to mimic a real fish's head. You can even put like different types of swim baits on, like this, or some like weird goofy stuff. Next up, we have frogs. Now, these are more traditional frog lures and are topwater. These work very well in lily pads or like any weedy area where fish like to hide. They come in a few different sizes, shapes, and colors, like this. And you just sort of like bounce it along like an edge or on like lily pads. They're very simple and easy to use, but can take some practice to nail them. Next up, we have poppers. poppers can come in a lot of shapes, sizes, and colors. And quite a few varieties, like this here hula popper, which is a smaller version of a regular popper. These are quite versatile as a topwater and should be in your tackle box at all times. You work it like a frog, and it should make a nice little plop, plop, plop. The better alternative to these is the expensive Whopper Plopper, which is very good and can target types of large catfish in streams. The next lure is very close to my heart and is none other than the jerkbait. Jerkbait is a very simple design with a long body, and in the water it sort of makes a like zigzaggy motion when jerked in the name. The reason this is very close to my heart is it landed my first and possibly my only crappie, but they're very cool and neat to use. Next up is a very beginner-friendly lure, and that is spoons. Unlike the cooking utensil, this catches fish. They come in lots of sizes and a few shapes, mostly entailing something like this. Some even have nice little engravings. They may also contain a spinning feature, such as this tail. And these, you just reel it in, like about the speed of most curly tails, paddle tails, and they give a very nice shine in the water that will attract fish. Last but certainly not least is spinners. These are two of the types of spinners that I use. And much like a spoon, it has a blade that spins. And this one's very bland and basic, but it still catches fish. These mostly target bass, and when in the water and reeling medium fast speed, they give very nice action and reflection. We also have the rooster tail spinner, which is a bright and colorful version of this bladed spinner. And these mostly target trout, but can be used for bass and panfish too. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing to see some more fishing videos.